Oh, there it is. I don't want to put too much pressure on this fish. Welcome back to another episode of Northwest Fishing Fanatics River Fishing with Gene. That's me, your humble host. I know in previous videos I've mentioned how much respect I have for my dad. He was an awesome hunter and a great fisherman. But let me show you a couple of things that you might not have seen. This one here, let me show you that. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Fort Huachuca, that's Arizona. 1961, 35 pounds, that's javelina. This one here, Fort Huachuca, Arizona. 1960, 47 pounds, that's what that one says. The smaller one here, there again, Fort Huachuca, Arizona. What does it say? 1962, so I was 2 years old here. And this says 29 pounds. Never hunted with a rifle. He did everything with archery. So you can see all these up here. Now, not all of them. Several of these are mine. But all of these here were taken by archery, bow and arrow. And when I first started, when I was younger, 12, 13, 14 years old, and my dad taught me, we didn't use all the fancy stuff that you see today. You know, we didn't have the sights, the range finders, the releases, the compound bows. It was all longbow or recurve, you know, and instinctive shooting. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I have a great respect for my dad. I miss him a lot. And he's been gone now for 7 years, I think. God rest his soul. If you want to see the eggs and how I cure them, check that video out. I'll put the links in the description. But I'm going to launch the boat and I'm going to run up to the barrier because there's nobody here and I like fishing by myself. I'll see you up there, okay? Bye now. Make sure my drag is set right. And let's go ahead and drift this center portion right here. I'm going to fish the outside edge and then I'll move my way in, slowly pushing the fish over to the bank. We'll see if that works. Drift number one. So right now, just so everybody knows, the regs are you cannot keep any salmon unless it's a hatchery coho. I think the reg says release all salmon except hatchery coho. It means you can't even keep I talked about this in the last video, you can't even keep a hatchery Chinook, which is totally, okay. I'm going to promise you on this video, I am not going to complain about how this river is managed, or how about how good it was back in the day. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm gonna bite my tongue. Now that doesn't mean I won't say something controversial, because as you guys know, I'm not really a politically correct guy. I tend to speak my mind. I haven't been keeping track of the count, so I have no idea how many fish they've been collecting up there. I know there hasn't been a lot of boats up here, number one, because there's hardly any water in the river. And I mean, you can't keep any fish, and I haven't seen any Chinook, hardly any. I mean, Coho. It's so early in the season right now. I don't even know if they have any Coho are running right now. I mean, they should be trickling in. But look how slow and peaceful and tranquil this drift is at this level. I think the river's at something like 2360 still. It's been like this for quite a while. As a matter of fact, last month, I think it was like maybe 3 weeks ago, there was when the water's really low, we get a lot of rafters and tubers and stuff, especially on the weekends. So we sit on our deck and watch people raft, and they're yelling, they're drinking, they're having a good time. They go over the rapids and they're hooting and hollering, on their rafts with their kids and all that stuff. It's fun to watch. But the last time we were down, some dude hit a rock, and his inflatable kayak folded around the rock, and it tipped him over. And him and his wife, they were like panicking because they were, it was in the fast part of the river, so they were getting pushed down the river, and they can't stand up because the water's moving too fast, and it's not deep enough to actually stand up, because every time you try to stand up, it knocks you over. So they were tumbling down the river. They just tumbled down for a long time. And they finally managed to, get themselves upright and swim down to the next place where I think they, managed to find their raft, and their buddies came and re-inflated it. I seen them inflating it on the other side of the river. But I think a lot of people, they take this river for granted. Okay, I'm gonna run up with the kicker, and then we'll drift in a little bit closer to the bank. All right. Drift number 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I get to this tree over here, and then I'm going to slowly move the boat over a little closer to the bank. So I want to thank you guys, who have subscribed. I think the channel is at over 5,200 subscribers now. And I think that's amazing. I don't know, if that's good or bad for the amount of videos and time that I've been doing this. Less than 2 years, I think. Well, just about 2 years, I think. And so I don't know if that's a good metric to go by, the views, whatever. I think the channel itself has had over 1 million views, 1,050,000 or something like that. To me, that seems like a lot. And so I want to tell all of you guys, even you guys that aren't subscribed to the channel, how much I appreciate you watching, even if you're not subscribed. I mean, it's amazing. I actually started this channel because I wanted to create something that my grandkids and my kids could actually enjoy watching and learning what their grandpa, does in his spare time. Because the kids moved away, my grandkids are grown now in college. A few of them are anyway. And I don't get to see them very much, so I want them to be able to have a resource that they can show to themselves and to their children someday. Hey, this is Grandpa, this is great Grandpa, this is what he used to do, and kind of get to know who I am. And that's the reason why I started this channel, was for posterity. But it kind of grown into a little bit more than that. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy talking about my life and sharing my life and experiences with you guys. So I want you to know how much I appreciate the support that I get, and all of the kind comments. That I receive. Every now and then you get a negative one, but I'm used to that. I've been selling real estate for 27 years, so I've got a pretty thick skin. The most common theme of negative comments are when I go fishing and I don't catch anything. There's always going to be somebody who makes a comment about me not catching any fish. And I don't know if it's because there's other videos out there where all you see is people catching fish. And I don't think that's realistic, to be totally honest with you. Oh boy. Okay, I lost my bait on that one. And a lot of you guys understand me, my philosophy about fishing. It's pretty simple, actually. When you've been fishing as long as I do, you know, you don't concern yourself with catching the biggest fish or catching the most fish. You do still try to catch fish, naturally. That's why we're here, right? If I go fishing and I don't catch fish, I'm just as happy as when I do. You may not be just as happy, but I am. Okay. You know, it's super nice having the river property, but it's easy to become a slave to it, a slave of it. I used to tell my dad all the time, you know, Dad, go fishing, go fishing. He'd come down here and he'd work all the time. And I never understood because at that time, I wasn't taking care of the property, you know, 100% by myself. Sometimes it's overwhelming. And I find myself becoming a slave to the property myself. Oh, I just seen a fish. Oh, it's my spinner. That is my spinner from last year. Oh. Oh, there's a bunch of other stuff down there too. Oh, there's another one. Look at that one. It's got a little jig on it. I mean, a hoochie. I'll make up for the gear I lose. Those things are like $6 a piece. Okay, back to fishing. See, now today is already a great day. We're out here in the river fishing together, and I ended up getting a couple of free spinners that are in pretty good, decent shape still. Life is good. Now, let's just see if we can catch a fish. Now, what fish in his right mind wouldn't want to eat those eggs? Look how beautiful they are. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Just got to get them in front of a fish, that's all. Come on, baby. It's right in that perfect spot in that seam between those giant boulders right there. There's two boulders right there about the size of a Volkswagen, each of them. Where are you going? Oh, I was almost getting ready to set the hook on that. I was just waiting for a little tug. Figured I'd drift down a little farther this time. Should actually do this every time. There's enough water.
2 hours later.
Oh, that was a fish right there, dude. The fish just jumped right next to my float. Oh, there it is. Oh, unbelievable. Right next to my float, and then the next thing you know, bobber down. It's not big. It's not big, whatever it is. Oh, it's a trout. That was cool, though. Get over here in the softer water. He jumped right next to my float, and the next thing you know, picked up those eggs. That's pretty cool. I don't care who you are. Looking for a salmon, but come here. Come on. Oh, it's a nice sized trout too. It's a nice sized trout. Oh man, I'm gonna. Oh, just came off. Good. Well, I'm looking for a salmon, not a trout, but nonetheless, it was a fish. Didn't get the takedown, but I got the fish. Hope it's not a dark king. And there's enough water in the river where I can let him take me down if we need to. Come on. I don't want to put too much pressure on this fish. Let's see what we got. Oh, it just came off. I'm gonna jam back, I guess. So thank you for watching this episode of Northwest Fishing Fanatics River Fishing with Gene. I wasn't able to put a fish in the boat, although we had some action. But thanks for watching, I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you on the water. Peace, love, and tight lines. If you liked this video, be sure to check out our other videos where you'll join us on the ocean catching kings and silver salmon, lakes catching kokanee trout and landlocked coho. We'll also be working our riverfront homestead and harvesting venison. Stay tuned for more fishing and hunting and outdoor adventure videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you get notifications of new uploads. Thank you for watching.